Welcome everybody, this is Dan Craven back with another edition of Good Sports and Next Generation, and I'll tell you what, it has been 2 years since you've seen this face on TV, and unfortunately for you, you're going to see it again tonight. We got a special show here tonight. We got a couple great organizations here we want to represent. It's going to be a little special show. We're going to kind of blend in two different organizations. It's going to be sort of a real Spitfire event, so I want you just to hang tight with us. So I want to introduce, first of all, to my left, the Alpha Endurance crew. Brian Gildea on my far left. Welcome, Brian.
Yeah, thank you.
And then, of course, now DJ is going to be part of Alpha, and who knows, you know what he does here. But DJ Craven, welcome.
Thanks, good to be here.
Very good. Now, switching to my right, I got Bill Orson from the Meadville Area Free Clinic. Bill, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right, very good. All right, so it's good to be back into the saddle today. And the whole purpose of what we're dealing with today is to sort of, definitely, we got the Alpha Endurance people here, so that really enables the sports part of this. But then we want to just talk about the Meadville Free Clinic. They got an event coming up, and we're just kind of blending everything here today. So why don't we go ahead and start with, on my left, let's start with you guys over here in Alpha. And you guys can just, Brian, why don't you just kind of give us a little history of what Alpha stands for and how it came about.
Yeah, I can do that. So Alpha Endurance stands for A Life Full of Adventure, and that really came about, DJ and I, we're business partners outside of Alpha Endurance and spend a lot of time in the endurance space, training, working out. DJ's a lifelong athlete. I, not as much, took many years off of the athletic space, but got really into it. And DJ and I just both started going down this path of doing races, competing, triathlons, swimming, biking, running. He does a lot of mountaineering, hiking type expeditions. And we just kind of hit a point where we decided we want to make it more of our everyday life, which involves incorporating an entity. So we said, let's just try it. What does it look like here? We were always, a little all over the place of, we don't live in the healthiest community that has a lot of individuals that, well, let's take a step back. The weather we have here can be challenging. So a lot of places that thrive in the endurance activity space are in really nice climates. So that's a barrier to entry for us here. But we thought there's still a lot of opportunity, and we could lead a company to create a movement and create an opportunity for people to come to us for races, for trainings, for group activities, and really just bring that vibe to the community. So that was kind of how it started off, both of us doing the activities, enjoying it, wanting to make it more formal, more part of our everyday life. And we started with really the race directing aspect of it, just because it's fun. We love races, and we thought we lost some races here. The Dam Tri at Woodcock, the Edinburgh Triathlon at Lake Edinburgh, and we thought there was a market where we could sanction and have some actual formal races, and that was kind of our avenue into it. And then we're just going to grow it from there with other ideas and things, trail runs, races, and things that tie into, like I said, some of DJ's hikes and mountaineering and things he do. So that's really the basis of kind of how it got started, Dan.
That's a good history, actually. That actually is a darn good idea, and I kind of wish I thought of it. Now, now, like anything else, you can't mail a stamp without going through jumping a lot of hoops and logistics. Deej, I'm going to say that there's got to be some governing body. Like, someone just doesn't say, I'm going to start like an alpha group. I mean, there's got to be an organization. There's got to be papers to sign, I would think, hoops to jump, vaccinations to take, and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's actually in our long line of business, we've been in business for 65 years. It's actually a lot easier to start a business than it is to shut it down, which we're finding out as we're starting to try to shut down some businesses of our own. So yeah, we basically just made it an LLC. You can do the paperwork online. It's actually a little bit super simple nowadays. and you just go through some of those legal forms and, you know, get registered with the state, and bada bing, you got yourself an LLC. So you do pay some, you know, you got to pay for some of those services. You get yourself a bank account. You got to have some starter money. You know, certainly there's some things that go along with it. But as far as the LLC and the business side of it, it actually is really not that hard.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. All right, so we're gonna bounce back to you guys real quick. Bill, if you need something, just fire right in there. Let's start with you, Brian, back on the other side. I know you guys said you guys did a lot of events. Just quickly, you know, or I guess it can't be quickly because you've been doing it a long time. What are some of the events that you have done? I mean, they're pretty, both you guys have pretty impressive resumes, I think, you know, with regards to what you did. So, DJ, we'll get to you as well. So, Brian, let's start with you. What's some of the events you did?
Yeah.
Where'd you go? That kind of stuff.
Yep, for sure. Like I said, a little bit different DJ and I's background, and him being a competitor and athlete longer than I have. So, you know, I had a really slow start into it. I don't have a background of any of the three disciplines of triathlon or really any endurance sports in general. My dad is a former marathon runner. My mom was a former cyclist. So I had a little bit of it in my blood. But I really just got started. The first thing I signed up to do was a Ragnar relay, really, with the family, where it's just a...
And how long ago was that? Excuse me. What year was that?
It was really three years ago, we'll say. I kind of started the journey 3 years ago.
Wow, a lot done in that amount of time.
And then really, yeah, it kind of compounded from there. That was a fun group event, 200-mile trail run that you rotate. Everyone's running around the clock all the time.
I remember that.
So really exciting. And then got into a sprint triathlon, which is what we're directing here, which is more of an entry-level triathlon. Did some of those, and then just kind of built from there and up the triathlon scale. Olympic distance triathlon, got into that a little bit, and then got into the half Ironman distance, 70.3 distance, which I've traveled around a lot with DJ, and done a handful of the half distance Ironman. This year will be the first full Ironman in September, again with DJ. We're doing that together in Tennessee. But really, those were some of the ones that kind of got me going in that trajectory. I've done some other fun hybrid type events and challenges. Some friends and I did the 4x4x48 a year and a half ago. You remember that? 4 miles every 4 hours, 48 hours. Raised a bunch of money. We like to tie some charity events to it and raise money while we're doing something that is pretty hard for other people that don't have the luxury to do things hard, whether it's children with cancer or you know, whatever it is. We look at a lot of these events of we're capable of doing it and putting in the hard work while others are suffering in life, and there's a lot of things going on that they don't have that ability. So we've kind of put that in the forefront of the motivation to keep going and doing it. Last year, probably my most exciting challenge or race was the Sea to Summit race up in New England. Really awesome. 1.2 mile swim followed by a 95-mile bike up into the mountain range in New Hampshire, and then ascend up to the top of Mount Washington by foot, up Tuckerman's Ravine. That was very cool. About an 8-hour, endurance event, going from sea level to the highest point this side of the Mississippi on Mount Washington. So really cool to traverse from sea level to that highest peak. That was a pretty fun event.
All right, DJ, I know that, I know Brian kind of hit on some things, but what have you been up to?
Yeah, I mean, as Brian mentioned, pretty much been in, competitive athletic events, pretty much what feels like my whole life. Endurance-wise, I played soccer all the way through college, a little bit afterwards. So from an endurance perspective, I've always been interested in that. Always have had, I think, a little bit of just natural ability. That's not something that that I can only attest to genetics. But I've always had an interest in it. So it's always been kind of there in the back of my mind to just be doing some things that are a little bit outside the box. I've always been attracted to the maybe things that most people would say no to do. I've always just been attracted to that for whatever reason. So. I started the same journey as far as some of the running races. Of course, we did that first triathlon way back when I was in the relay, and then did the running there. Running's always been somewhat kind of natural to me from the soccer aspect of things and different trainings for hockey and such. So we did that. So I knew of triathlons, but didn't really maybe have much of an interest because I can't swim. At the time, I still am still wondering if I actually can't swim or not, but. It always just kind of intimidated me a little bit more, so just kind of maybe shied away from it. So some of the running races that Brian mentioned, a couple Ragnars, Smoky Mountain Relay, race with actually all of his family, a lot of runners in that avenue. Excuse me, got to still tickle my cough here. And then, it was kind of a monkey see, monkey do a little bit from the triathlon perspective. Once I saw, we went that one Presque Isle try that we did, 2 years ago, and I did the running. I kind of understood the atmosphere at a triathlon is a little bit different than any running race that I've ever been to. It's a little bit different than any competition that I've ever been to. Just the environment and the vibe and everything that goes along with it is pretty intoxicating, to be honest, and from nothing but a good way. So once Brian signed up for it, I knew that it was only a matter of time before I was going to sign up for it. I just needed to learn how to swim. So I got in the pool, started very humbly. I could go probably 1 or 2 strokes without having to stop and just kind of doggy paddle. And then I've worked my way up, just as Brian has, sprint triathlons, and then the Olympic triathlons up to the halves. And then, as he mentioned, we're going to go attempt to do a full triathlon, which is going to be a 12-plus hour adventure for the day for there. I should bear mention, as he mentioned, some of the mountaineering experiences. Back in 2019, I was a part of the group. You guys might locally remember there was a big fundraiser for the Meadville Medical Center, Cancer Center, Linear Accelerator, and that fundraiser was to climb Kilimanjaro, which is the tallest peak in Africa, one of the 7 summits. So I was able to go with the group there. 10 of us were able to summit that, and then continued on to the base camp of Everest about a year and a half ago. We didn't raise any money for that, but ended up making it up there successfully as well. So got a little bit of an itch there. Got a few more summits to bag, as they say, in the future. But so that's kind of my endurance.
Perfect.
Spectrum.
What type of service are you going to be marketing services? Trying to sell programs or?
As far as Alpha?
Yeah.
The services are probably these endurance type of races. As far as quote unquote selling anything, any of the triathlons or any of these races, do have a little bit of cost on our end to be able to put them on, so people wouldn't have to pay for them. But we also do plan on doing some like Brian had mentioned, just sending out hey, group rides or group runs or group swims that some of them may not have to have any cost to it. So services, yes. But maybe some have to be paid for and some don't have to be.
So I've had a desire since we kind of got started that I love to see people to the finish line, help motivate people. I really enjoy, you could call it kind of coaching, but I'm no coach. Just really to help people because I've seen how much it's transformed my life in a positive way. So I informally do that with some people now and help them. And there would be an end game of maybe with Alpha of having some sort of formal coaching ability through it and to get people to achieve a goal and set them on that path. We're not there yet. It maybe will happen. But we both look at it as I don't feel, unless you've done it, that you should coach it type of thing. I don't have a college background in sports science. I just feel my resume as an athlete, an endurance athlete, needs to be of a certain level before I could offer that to somebody else formally. But that would certainly be something down the road we might look into. But like DJ mentioned of putting on these events and having those as services or opportunities for people out there is kind of the focus right now.
And just that whole aspect of, being able to do something that, like I said earlier, most people say no to, or that you yourself may think that you can't do, is such a good feeling to be able to even just try to attempt to do it, that we've experienced. We're just trying to kind of pass on that joy almost to some degree as well.
Yeah, it kind of gets in your blood, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be back to you, but now we're going to switch over to my right, so kind of keep your brains thinking. All right, so we're going to be to my right now. Bill, welcome. We're from Meadville Area Free Clinic. Why don't you give me a little bit of history about what the Free Clinic kind of does, and maybe what your role and how you got into that role, and then we can go from there.
Okay, well, I'm a newly appointed board member. I guess it's been less than a year. The Meadville Area Free Clinic has been established, 28 years now. And it's either you know about it or it's this region's best kept secret. We service individuals who do not have health insurance between the ages of 18 and 64. So if you're before 18, you're probably eligible for Penny. And if you're over 64, you have Medicare, Medicaid. If you have VA health benefits, you don't qualify. So sometimes you're in between jobs and you just need health care. Or your circumstances are you just don't have insurance. We average about 70 appointments a month, and all of our providers are volunteers from the area, doctors, nurses, dietitians, therapists, pharmacists, and we offer a lot of basic primary care services. If we can't handle your issue, your problem, we'll make referrals. There's no charge for our services. So like I said, it's a well-kept secret that we want to get out. We also have coming up some of our primary fundraisers, because we operate on the full support of the community. We have some legacy sponsors with United Way, Meadville Medical Center, Marquette. I know I'm probably missing a few. I hate to do that, but
Well, you're doing fine. Yeah, so other than that, I mean, basically, Grant, so the whole idea, and this is where it's all gonna come together here in a minute, why, because we all have events that's gonna happen on the same day, and that's what we're kind of promoting everything. And from this standpoint, we'll get to why it's important why they're here, because they got an event that's gonna come, that's gonna help, to raise money and so on and so forth in that direction. All right, so let me ask you a question. Why did you get involved with the Meadville Area Free Clinic?
well, my background is been healthcare for my entire life. I served in Navy medicine for 20 years. I worked for the VA healthcare system, and it's something I understand, I can talk about. I can see issues quicker whenever I'm watching an operation, not on a patient, but
Right.
processes. And I thought that I had something to offer since I retired, and my wife suggested that I needed to find something to do. And
Is that a voluntary suggestion?
it was voluntary on her part to give me the suggestion. And I really want to give back something now that I've retired in Meadville. And it's fun. It's actually a great service that this community has that a lot of other areas in Pennsylvania do not have available. Those would be the folks that are filling up the emergency rooms of hospitals, trying to get seen, and the hospitals are trying to deal with them. There's the funding issues, the costs, and so we're able to step in and hopefully take care of our community.
And the way I understand, I mean, the free clinics are like, like Bill says, they're kind of well-kept secrets, but it's like a big deal. I mean, they have a state meeting every year, and like there's a national meeting. I mean, so there's a lot of people from free clinics that they get together. Yeah, across the country, and they kind of share ideas. But as far as I know, I mean, how many free clinics are there up in our little part of the Commonwealth?
We are it.
Yeah, you are it.
We are it. Erie doesn't. We primarily do our clientele from this area, but when I say this area, it's not just the city of Meadville, be Crawford County. And I'm not sure the statistics, but I know the outlying zip codes that surround Crawford County, we're getting folks being referred to us as our region's healthcare providers become aware of us. They try to help, and we're able to step in and offer diabetic counseling and physical therapy and employment physicals, if that helps, for individuals that don't have health care insurance.
Right.
So is it really on an as-need basis, like an individual has something arise in life where they say, I don't have coverage, but I need help with this. You help address the problem, and then they're somewhat out of your system? It's not like in perpetuity that they're part of your program? Or is
It's a little bit of each.
Okay.
We have individuals who are just going to be chronically don't have the health insurance and have issues and need our help. We do everything by appointments because we have to make sure that we have the providers there. That it's not a 24/7 or even 5 days a week, all day long. We have certain hours. So you call the number and describe the problem. We'll ask you some insurance, financial related questions and get you scheduled if we're able to help. And then if we realize it's a bigger issue, we do make referrals to other providers. So Meadville Medical Center works with us on both ends.
And most of the, and yeah, you mentioned the staff, but there's also a program with the medications. I mean, obviously there's no Schedule 3, there's no narcotics, but there's some life-sustaining medications that these people can get for free. And there's a couple. It's kind of worth mentioning how that all happened.
There's a national clearinghouse, which surprised me. I was never even aware of it.
Yeah.
That moves pharmaceuticals around the country, and we have a pharmacist on staff. She actually the chairman of our board, and we work with them, tell them what we need. If we see things that might be expiring, we send them back to them so they can ship them someplace else. And it's a nationwide program also, so we're able to help with basic flu vaccines, your basic diabetic, high blood pressure medications. It's really a unique thing. And the other thing we offer is a program called Pass It On. So if you have crutches, wheelchair, walkers, durable medical equipment that are no longer needed, like I had knee surgery 3 years ago, and I had a walker and I had crutches, and as soon as I was able to walk, I got rid of them as fast as I could, and donated them. And my father-in-law had an old wheelchair we gave, and that was gone, I think, the next day. So you can come in and look and see what we have. You can call and ask, but these are available free of charge.
And so that's all good point. That's a good introduction to the groups we have here. And sit tight here. Get yourself something to drink, come back. We're going to take a short break. And so you're probably asking yourself, Dan, why are we here? What's the scoops going on? What's the relationship? How do these guys melt in? And I'll tell you what, I'm going to tell you that in a minute. Welcome back to Good Sports Next Generation. I'm Dan Craven. On my right is Bill Orson. On my far left, Brian Gildea. Next to me is DJ Craven. These guys on my left are representing Alpha, the endurance group that we heard about them earlier. Bill Orson over here representing the Meadville Area Free Clinic. I am representing both groups today. Okay, Alpha, so tell me, why are we here? What event do you have coming up? And tell me what the date is.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's we have a sprint triathlon, and it's going to be Saturday, June 14th this year, 2025, and it's going to be held in Conneaut Lake, Pennsylvania. So from where we're sitting here today, just right down the road. And again, as we kind of mentioned earlier, it's a sprint, it's kind of your entry-level triathlon. It's going to be a somewhere around a 600-yard swim, 14-mile bike ride. We're going to go around the lake somehow, some way, and then it's just a 5K, which is just over 3-mile run, just to finish off the day. So that'll be the adventure.
And what time's that start?
It'll be in the morning. We haven't finalized the complete time yet, just based on some weather things and everything, but it'll probably be around the 7 o'clock time frame.
And Brian, you have a committee. I mean, you guys, I know you guys are good. I mean, I've worked with you, I've seen you do stuff. But, I mean, you got to have a committee to pull this off, all right?
Yep.
So, you want to, who's on your committee?
Yep. So everything takes a team to do and do well. And
Even though this is an individual sport.
Yep, absolutely. So we instantly kind of put a team together for Alpha Endurance and what we're doing with these races. And I went through a program with USA Triathlon to get certified as a race director. Did some, learning with that. And then DJ has a background in management, business, and all of this. So he pulled in as my 50-50 partner in the whole entity. And then DJ's wife, my sister, is very skilled with the marketing. She's the creator. We have an idea. We say, here's this idea. Can you make it look pretty? Pretty much. That's not our wheelhouse. So she's good at that. And then Tori Craven, your sister, your daughter, also is managing all our volunteers. Very challenging job. She's doing a wonderful job at it. She fits it perfect, has the personality for it that these races come off with 60, 70 volunteers required for it. It's a big day. You think of a tri-sport event where you have a swim team where, it's dangerous. They're out there in the elements. So we have a lot of volunteers involved with the swim. You have a bike course, intersection. Most races are open course, so you have vehicles and everything. So pulling her in to help manage the volunteers has been great. So the four of us, between Jen, DJ, Tori, and myself, we're kind of the leadership and the committee behind Alpha Endurance.
So DJ, everybody, you think you have enough help and then you don't. So if somebody out there says, yeah, this is my bag, I always thought I wanted to do a triathlon, so maybe I should go look at one, maybe I should volunteer one, I want to put some time into it. I mean, how does one volunteer? How does somebody get who? Yeah, what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah. So we'll put we can put the website here. That's right. Yeah, I'll put the website up there. You want to just get to our website, and that is the best way to volunteer. To sign up for just volunteering, we do need people to sign up. There's obviously information that we need to gather and do everything formally. We've told our family members and we've told close friends. They're like, oh, I want to volunteer. I want to help. Put me on the list. It's like, well, we can't put you on the list. You got to put yourself on the list. So go to the website that you can see here and visit that for us. We do need a ton of volunteers. We are not done with volunteers. We will never have too many because things happen. People get busy and mixed schedules and won't be able to make it. So we need extras on extras. It will not happen without volunteers. Brian and I, Jen and Tori can't be everywhere. Really, the kind of plan is for us to be almost in none of those spots so that we can fill in as need be, on the day of.
Okay,
Two
now
things.
go
Sorry,
ahead.
just with the volunteers, you don't need to be an athlete to volunteer.
Sure, very true.
These are tasks that anybody can do. We'll give very detailed direction. Tori will give a great plan. There'll be meetings prior. You'll know exactly what to do when you show up and do it. And secondly, you won't be disappointed. You will be motivated. When you go to these things and see the people and feel the vibe, I'm certain you'll enjoy the volunteering process.
All right, now here's the other thing too, just throwing it out there. I know I've been putting some posters out. You've been doing a good job of publicizing it. I know you're gonna have people, maybe some people your level, but people that are like, okay, I've done triathlons before, I know how to train. But then you're gonna get somebody that say, I'm gonna try out this sprint thing. And now it's March, this is happening in June. What advice would you tell somebody that's like how do I is like never done this before, train? What would you both of you recommend of what to do? That's kind of a loaded question, but there might be someone out there that's running in Chuck T's and riding a PF Flyer. But what I mean? What kind of advice would you give?
And that is a loaded question.
It is a loaded
But
Well, you know what I'm trying to say.
there's a lot of answers to that. But one thing I would say is that's part of what we want to do is that
Perfect.
we're not experts. We're average in the world of this sport. I very much am average, but I'm willing to put in the time and have learned a lot. DJ's put in the time and learned a lot. We want to be a resource where those entry-level people can certainly come to us. Our info's on the website, social media, everything's out there where we would welcome questions. If people just said, I really want to do this, but I only am a runner, then we can zero right in on, here's what I would do from a biking perspective. I bought a bike off Facebook Marketplace used for my first race. Guide you in some things there. DJ mentioned swimming. Extremely challenging and intimidating to many people. We can give you some thoughts on, here's some pools that are open. Get in the pool, practice this, do this, do this. So we would love to be that resource for people. And then people that want to take it a step further, DJ and I both have coaches. We're both coached by two different outfits, Flight Performance and NVDM Coaching, both excellent with founders who are professional triathletes. We both would, I don't want to speak for you, but highly encourage people if they have maybe done a few and say, I'd like to take it to the next level. Those are two entities that you can call and they would welcome you with open arms and help guide you. It definitely was able to take me to that next step after I got past just inching my way through these things.
Right, and I know there's some people out there, like you said, they're going to become athletes. I've already talked to some people that might be volunteer and some people that might be active. But I know when I was trying to do that damn try thing, I was like, what do I do first? So I run because I hate to run or swim, and I got in the pool, and then I couldn't figure it out. And of course, I didn't end up doing it anyways for one reason. I hurt my foot or something. But I know it's just there might be somebody out there thinking to do it. Now the other thing, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, to add to that, just to make sure that we are selling the whole thing is that there are relays. So you can do a relay. So for instance, if you say, hey, I don't want to swim, no way, no how. We understand that. You can find somebody that can swim. You can do 2 legs of the race. You can do 1 leg of the race and find three buddies, or find 2 buddies. But I also will say is be like, if you, for whatever reason, or say, I'm a biker, I'm a runner, and I don't know anybody else, we will find you people. We'll find you 2 other people. We'll find you a swimmer. We'll find you a biker. Or we'll find you a runner. Just message us. Again, website. Get a hold of us through the website. We will find somebody to pair you up with. We've already had some folks say, hey, I really just, I need a swimmer. Again, we're at the pool all the time. There are plenty of swimmers out there that would swim 600 yards without even thinking about it in the morning that would help you out and get your try done. So just be aware of that. There always is a relay option, and you can do any one of the 3 options. You can do 2 of the legs, and somebody else can do it. You don't even have to know that person. So that is also an option.
Is there a deadline?
To sign up?
Yeah. To say like, hey, look, I'm a biker. It just doesn't.
I think we close it a week before. We have it scheduled on Run Sign Up is the platform we're using for the race, and the Run Sign Up page is on our website. But I believe it's a week before. It might be 12 days before that it closes. Yeah.
Good deal. Okay, I'm gonna shift gears and go ahead this way. All right, William. What are you doing, and what day are you doing it on?
Well, just by pure coincidence, we're going to keep the fun rolling on Saturday, June 14th. This will be one of the primary fundraisers for the Meadville Area Free Clinic. It's from 11 to 5, and it's going to be a food truck and craft fest at the Crawford County Fairgrounds, the 4-H barn. And we're going to have food trucks. We're going to have a DJ. We're going to have a number of craft vendors. And the nice thing about this location is everything will be under the coverage of the barn.
Yeah.
So in case it's raining or
It's not going to rain that day.
Yeah, it's not
It's going to be sunny.
Well, Meadville, hopefully it's not going to be snowing either. So the DJ is going to be there, free admission, free parking, of course. The crafters, we're going to have raffles, 50-50 raffles, health screenings we're going to be offering. So it's just an activity for the community one more time, tying in with everything else going on for the day. And once again, by sheer coincidence, the Thurston Classic will be that evening.
Yeah, it will be.
Great day in the county.
Yeah. So the whole idea. People are going to be coming. Hopefully, both events have a great turnout, and you guys have some local people. And your kids are doing it traditionally in the morning, usually, right?
Oh yeah, it'll be first thing in the morning. I was sitting while you were talking about that. We will be done by then. Athletes will be done and out of there. That we certainly can send the email out to everybody that signed up and let them know that there's a lot of out of town signups. Surprisingly,
That's
a
great.
ton of Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Cleveland.
That's huge.
And they're going to be staying here. Yeah. So they're going to be filling up hotel rooms, to do some in the community. We can send them your way and say, here's the afternoon fun. After you race,
I just believe they eat a burger at the food truck.
Yeah,
And that's the whole idea. Yeah, we're patting each other on the back.
Again, timing works out really well. You guys starting at 11. We're supposed to be. You're gonna have everybody's gonna be done by then. I think we need to be cleaned up and have everything cleaned up by like noon. So yeah, it'll be done, and we'll certainly send as many folks as we can that way.
We're still working on signing up vendors and food trucks.
I was just saying, you guys need volunteers.
Oh yes.
Do we have a website?
Yep.
Right down here. Okay, want to put this website, or do they call you? How the volunteers say, I want to help with them? Because we got to have people park cars. We got to have people that. So how would the volunteers?
Let's calling the clinic.
And what is that number?
That number would be 814-333-3932. And they'll answer the phones there and probably get the names and phone numbers back to me. We have lots of activities under the barn roof. And then out in the field, last year I helped with parking. Stood out there for a couple of hours waving one of the swimming noodles, trying to keep cars in straight lines parking in the field, which I actually enjoyed.
That was in my jurisdiction, if
Yes, I remember that. Your lines were
I'm not going to mention who wasn't, but it was just, yeah. So anyways, okay, so we got 2 events going on, in addition to the starting cut, that need to be supported one way or the other. Athletic-wise, you can still sign up. And you guys mentioned before, Brian did, I think, but quickly just review again. There are 4 levels of triathlons, right? Sprint, Olympic. I mean,
Somewhat, yeah.
is there's nothing in between all? That's basically the four.
Pretty much the universal standard. There is a super sprint, which is even
Oh.
half of the sprint that we're doing, so it's even shorter. It's not as commonly well done, certainly around here. But yeah, so typically it's the sprint, an Olympic, half Ironman, and an Ironman. Those are kind of the four main.
And then there's, some extreme Ultraman things where they really get out there. Very rare and pretty exclusive to do. But there's generally the levels that you mentioned there. And we're doing more of the entry level.
I think that's going to be good for the area. So that's going to be something that's going to be rolling right along. Now, as Bill mentioned, they got the Pass It On program. So hopefully none of your athletes need a pair of crutches. If you do,
Yeah.
call.
That's right.
So anyway, okay, let's kind of just bundle it all together. Let's just anything else you guys want to say about Alpha and how your guys' training. You guys are like you said had pros. I know training is tough for this. I mean, I've done a few things. I did a couple. I think I did the Heiner race, which is like 26 miles up and down 3 mountains, and then I did 5 Tough Mudders, and I rode a couple bike rides for some try. It's not easy to do all 3, I don't think.
No, it's a challenge, but DJ and I always say to people you definitely can do it. It's very doable if you put I would say, again, I've said this 3 times now, DJ has a very deep-rooted athletic background. I do not, and I was still able to achieve certain goals that I wanted to achieve kind of starting from scratch. Anybody can do it if you're willing to have the discipline to learn it and do it and get out there and get a little bit uncomfortable. There's certainly times when it's hard and challenging, but you can push through, and I could just vouch for that. It made me a better businessman, better dad, better friend, just better person all the way around, living a life that surrounds this rather than other things I've done in life. So I just would highly encourage people to give anything like this a shot.
Oh, good, yeah. So again, if that's something you want to try, this is the group to talk to about this side on this side. Yeah, well, what do you got? Any thoughts about the?
Just listening to this and what we have to offer, you got throwing in the Thurston Classic, or even Make a Difference Day in the different month. It's a great testament to this community, what we're able to do in different subjects, but we're all trying to enhance this community. And
you're kind of tied into the food truck because you're running the whole shit. I mean, you're the director of that whole committee.
I've been told I'm the chair of the community.
I think they have what, like 9 food trucks now?
I believe we're up to that, and we're trying to work on a variety, so you can run over and get something to eat, from pastries to hot dogs to pizza.
And I'm going to throw this out there because I'm on that committee. I'm just going to throw that out there. If you're watching this show and you know anybody that has a barbecue food truck that's not doing anything on the 14th, to give the free clinic a call, because I think we're trying to fill that category, aren't we?
Right. Yes, we're like I said, trying to have a well-rounded choice of selections, and I think we're going to get there. It's just there are a lot of activities from Erie down past Crawford County at this time, and a lot of them said, "Oh, we'd love to do it. Contact us next year." We've already signed up for something else. So yes, volunteers are incredibly welcome, I guess, for either of us.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good thing to support.
I think both of us. Okay, I'm going to throw a little twist here on the way out. We're going to start with Brian, go to Bill, go to DJ, end with me. So we'll start with Brian. Anything on your mind at all about what we talked about today, local sports, and whatever you want? It's just a basic, usually we end this show with just whatever's on your mind type of thing. I mean, you could talk about whatever, so it's on to you.
Whatever's on my mind, that's a tough one. Oh, man. I probably will just stick with the Alpha Endurance path that we have here. Nothing else is really jumping out to me.
Sure.
I guess well, one thing that just kind of made me think of too is we're also, this sport and this space is youth friendly. That we have a lot of communities out here, schools, the high schools, and all around Crawford County. We'd love to have participation there. I think it'd be really fun. We often talk about, man, if we started this when we were 25, he's 40, I'm creeping on 40, and it's a little harder to rebound. So that's maybe what I'd throw out there, that if you're 18, 17, 16, and you're running track for Meadville or anywhere and want to say, I'll try something like that, we'd love to have some youth involved. Youth would be great to get this movement going a little further. So that's what jumped to my mind, Dan.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. Bill, anything you want?
It's along the same lines. The volunteers can come from just about any type of situation. Church youth groups, anybody that has a background in healthcare. It does not have to be healthcare. You just need runners. We need just bodies to be there. We're covering a large space. And this is teaching our youth something about community. It's us giving it back to them, and they learn how to give it back to the community.
Thank you. Dave?
Yeah, I mean, you know me, this time of year, I would like to put my golf, just twist on that. The sticks are officially coming out here, so I'm getting pretty excited about that. I've got a trip just outside of Vegas that I'm pretty excited for. So I'm pretty excited about that. But I guess in local, recent, not local, but recent news, Rory wins his second players yesterday in the playoffs. It was earlier today. Actually went to a playoff that they were rained leg yesterday, and he ends up winning his second players this morning in kind of dramatic fashion. So that was pretty cool. Good to see that. Another major winner getting a good trophy there. And then as far as just to kind of tie it into what we've got here, just to kind of add to what I was going to say earlier that Brian said, every shape and size we have seen at these races gets them done and completes them. Some of them don't look like us, and some of them can even do better than us. So just want to make sure we add that in there to reinforce what Brian said earlier, that you don't need to be a athlete since you were 5. You don't need to be just interested and just pick it up now, because Brian is still always in somewhat of some shape. This is something that anybody can do. You can go from a couch to a sprint triathlon. It is not something that is impossible.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I just want to sum it up by just saying, kind of highlighting what everybody was saying. There's groups out here now, that are like Alpha, and then we got from the medical standpoint. If you have a question or need to get started on something, we got people here in the area that can help you. And even if it's like, what kind of bike do I get? Again, these guys, they think they're in the middle of the pack, so they must be competing with some really good athletes, because I've seen what they've done. I've been to some of these, and these guys are really competitive here to my left. And, they just didn't fall off the fruit wagon and get on a bike. I mean, the equipment and everything they're doing is, it's precision. I mean, you even got to tie your shoes right. And so if you have a question regarding that, don't be afraid to reach out, because these guys are not going to misdirect you. Likewise, on the other side, if you know somebody, sometimes people don't have health care, and they're afraid I don't have health care, somebody's going to think down on me. No, that's not the case. If you fall within the parameters, I mean, look at this pretty face. I mean, you, this guy here, we're there to help you. These people are here to help us, and we're here to help each other. And I'll tell you what, you look around and some people say they want to live, and I'll tell you what, we live up here in Northwest PA, and I'm thankful for it. We got a lot of good stuff going on. We got good business people. We got good retired vets and all that good stuff. We got Armstrong putting us on the air. And I just want to say thank you for everybody that's doing all that to give people an opportunity. So with that, I'm just going to say, until we see you again, good night, everybody.